Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Environmental Coffee House for our Mammoth Show. And
Oh
I've
my
got my
goodness.
guy. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Yes, we are going to do our Mammoth Show, our crazy Mammoth Show. Yeah. There's a lot. Lot to discuss on that one. Hello,
It
Jennifer,
is.
darling. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm
How
very
are
good.
you?
How are you? How are you, Sandy?
It's good to be here. I had a crazy busy day.
Did you?
Yeah. Running around. I have a lot to do before I go away. So it's good. It's good
Ooh,
to see you.
yeah,
I
good
think
to
I'm in
meet
the
you.
right position for yes, I am. Perfect. So, what's happening?
What's happening? Well, it's all about woolly mammoths tonight, and people might wonder, well, that's kind of an obscure subject to discuss on an environmental show. But we did broach this subject, I think it was like 9 months ago or something. Sandy, do you remember when we were
Yeah,
having a woolly
I
mammoth
did and
show?
I did do yeah, we did do a show on it.
You and I, yeah, we
Yep.
did a show on woolly mammoths. And so this is kind of an update and a little bit more about colossal.com. Is that what it is?
A
Colossal.com.
couple of different companies. Yeah, Colossus
Couple of
and
different ones. Oh, Colossus, is it? Is that what it is? Anyway,
yeah.
guys, it's, everybody loves a woolly mammoth, right? So our first article up is going to be from Newsweek, actually. Woolly mammoth hybrids could be roaming the earth in just 5 years. So this is an update on the woolly mammoth project. And then Sandy, I think you have created a video for us, have you
Yeah,
not?
yep. After the Newsweek article,
Mm-hmm.
we are then going to play a video and then we're
Mm-hmm.
going to go into the next article, which is
Right. So the next one is from The Intercept. The CIA just invested in woolly mammoth resurrection technology. I mean, this is like, it's going to be
ah,
interesting.
yeah.
Just keep your mind open. Keep your
Yeah.
mind open.
Yeah. Well,
While skeptics doubt the prospects for
Steve.
de extinction. So, this is the de extinction initiative with woolly mammoths and other species, right?
It's de-extinction.
De-extinction.
De.
The CIA's venture capital firm deems powerful genetic manipulation tools worth the money. So fascinating. I'm sure you've never thought about these things. And Sandy, are we going to do the revive and restore woolly mammoth revival? That one?
Well, we're going to show those websites because those
Okay.
websites are the companies. So
Okay.
we'll show the
And then
companies.
Colossal,
Yeah, we'll talk about the.
colossal.com, which
Yep.
is, I think it's just like a great URL, right?
Yeah.
Who was able
Yeah.
to get colossal.com and then revive and restore.org. We're going to talk, just show some stuff, take some questions, have some fun, talk about woolly mammoths. Everybody loves a woolly mammoth, right?
Everybody loves a woolly mammoth. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So welcome everybody. Welcome Nadia and Judy and Bim Jim, Dwayne, Jean, Kim. Thank you for moderating as always. Lone Wanderer. There's a lot of people here. I may not get to all your voices, your names. Kim, Karen, Reese, everybody. Kevin Shenholder. Yes, it's an old story. We're just updating it with the
Yeah.
new. It's been
It's
going on for
it's the
years.
update. It's the
Yeah.
update about what's
Yeah.
happening with the woolly mammoths lately.
Basically, yep.
Mhm.
Yep, basically it is. All right, so
Mhm.
we will get started here. And with the first article, who would like to?
Mhm.
We didn't talk about
We
that,
didn't
so
talk
make
about it
up.
yet.
Hey, Donald James. Go ahead. Jen, you want to do this one or you want me to
Sure.
do this one? Okay,
Yeah,
you do this
I'm
one.
happy to go. All right,
All
guys,
right. So you're
here
going
we
to do
go
this
into
one.
woolly mammoth land. Woolly mammoth hybrids could be roaming the earth in just 5 years. Over 4 billion species are estimated to have walked this planet over the last 3.5 billion years. 99% of them are now gone, but today's researchers are hoping to reintroduce these lost species, or at least something very similar to them, within the next 5 years. One biotechnology company called Colossal Biosciences is aiming to do just that with the long extinct giant of the last ice age, the woolly mammoth. Launched by tech entrepreneur Ben Lamm and renowned geneticist George Church, Colossal Biosciences hopes to use gene editing technology to create cold resistant elephant that closely resembles its ancient ancestor in form and function. Oh
Ooh,
my
form
goodness.
and function. Woo-hoo.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo-hoo.
Woo, woo, woo. Woolly mammoths went extinct around 3,700 years ago. I think a lot of people think they've been gone longer than that, but they haven't. And it was on Wrangel Island up in the Arctic, their
Oh.
last stand, right? 3,700 years ago, but their close genetic relatives still walk among us this day. Quote, if you compare elephant and the mammoth, they're very closely related, Church told Newsweek. They're closer than African and Asian elephants. Wow. So the woolly mammoth, which I guess is related most closely to the Asian elephant, it is more closely related to the Asian elephant than the Asian elephant is related to the African elephant. That's pretty wild, right, Sandy? His co founder, Lamm, told Newsweek that Asian elephants and woolly mammoths actually share 99.6% of their genes. And it is this remaining 0.4% that the researchers are focusing on. If you look at their genomes, there are just little changes, and you can introduce ones that you think are more likely to make them cold resistant. In other words, the team is hoping to engineer Asian elephants that are able to withstand the freezing temperatures of the Arctic. Quote, we're focusing on what those core traits are that need to be exhibited in order to have successful rewilding of the species. It's not just the shaggy coat and the small ears, but it's also things like how the mammals and other animals metabolize things at sub-zero temperatures. So why introduce the mammoths to the Arctic? Why? Woolly mammoths are thought to have evolved around 300,000 years ago, spreading across North America, Europe, and Asia. Most mammoth populations died out about 10,000 years ago, although the last population of woolly mammoths is thought to have lived out on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Siberia until 1650 BC.
Yep. And
Wow,
then boom, they
right?
were gone. They were killed off.
Right. These animals were enormous, growing up to 13 feet tall and weighing around 6 to 8 tons. Their herbivorous diet and massive size allowed them to play a central role in maintaining the health and biodiversity of the ecosystems in which they lived. Today, the Arctic is largely made up of moss, shrubs, and sparse forests. But when mammoths lived there, the landscape was very different. Thousands of years ago, there was mostly grass. Now it's mostly trees. The Arctic is in need of restoration. Reintroducing any native populations in the Arctic would help restore the natural ecosystem. But elephant mammoth hybrids can do something that most other animals cannot.
Mm.
What the elephants do that no other species can do is they knock down trees and they restore the grasslands. That might sound counterintuitive as we are told to replant trees in order to save the planet. But Lamb said not all trees are created equal.
Mm.
In some environments, like rainforest, trees are the major form of habitat for many different animal species. But in the Arctic, they actually exclude larger animals. They also trap snow. So you get a thick layer of snow that keeps the warm summer heat like a downed blanket. And that's bad because it'll cause thawing, he said. When the frozen soil begins to thaw, carbon that has become locked inside for centuries can be released into the atmosphere. The Arctic has 1,400 gigatons of carbon that could be
Gigatons.
gigatons,
Gigatons.
gigatons. And just in terms of like size and things like that, I remember I think Natalia Shakova said something like a 5 gigaton methane burst would be very bad.
Crazy. Yeah.
500, and they've got 1,400 of carbon. I don't know how much of it is methane. Anyway, back to it, right?
It would be scary. It's
It
all
would be
scary.
scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scary. The
Yeah.
Arctic has 1,400 gigatons of carbon that could be released in the form of methane, which is 80 times worse than carbon dioxide for global warming. Large
God
herbivores can
damn.
actually compact this snow, reducing its ability to insulate the ground beneath, thus reducing the risk of soil thaw. Grasslands also reflect more heat and light back into the atmosphere. A thick wooded forest is darker and will therefore absorb more heat than a snowy grassy plain.
Mm.
Finally, grasses have deep root systems that enable them to store more carbon underground relative to their size, and they have been shown to be more reliable stores of carbon than trees in unstable habitats. Hmm. However, Lamm said that the goal is not to get rid of all the trees, rather, it is to restore the balance of the ecosystem that was present thousands of years ago. Why did mammoths go extinct? Numerous hypotheses have been put forward as to why the woolly mammoth went extinct. Mammoth populations began to die out at the end of the last ice age about 11,000 years ago. As the earth warmed, the area of land with suitable climate and conditions for the animals shrunk, forcing the animals to retreat further and further north. As well as shrinking habitats, climate change may have affected how much food was available to these animals, but it wasn't the only thing these herbivores had to worry about. There are a lot of people who feel that the extinction of the mammoths was greatly exacerbated by predators that stood on two legs and threw spears.
There they are.
I think that is quite likely.
Yeah. Our
Quite
ancestors.
likely.
Our ancestors.
Our impact on these animals can be seen in the fossil record. Spear and arrow marks can be seen on animal bones, and in 2017, a mammoth skeleton was found with a spear still lodged inside. They have shown that the rise of early man and the decline of the mammoths are pretty closely inversely related, Lamm said. It's not just mammoths. When they go to a place for the first time, humans are pretty good at finding the biggest, slowest things and killing them and eating them. Oh, and this poor little mammoth's on the edge of a cliff. Oh my, and he's going to fall off. Oh, it's terrible. The problem with the Arctic is that it is not just missing mammoths,
Big
it is
five.
missing almost every major herbivore.
Mm.
In somewhere like
Everything.
Africa, right, where food is much more plentiful, large mammals were able to bounce back from human hunting. But the Arctic is a harsh environment to survive in at best of times. It is fairly sparsely populated by both humans and animals, so it's probably easier to tip in either direction. So, what are the criticisms of this? The de-extinction project is not without its critics. An article published in the journal Nature, Ecology, and Evolution in 2017 criticized de-extinction as a waste of resources that could be better used to conserve living species. Oh, well, detail. However,
Oh my God.
Lamm said that the technologies being developed to create mammoth like hybrids would also serve as beneficial technologies for human health. Others have raised ethical concerns for the welfare of these animals. You don't have a mother for a species like that. If they are anything like elephants, has to be strong mother-infant bonds that last for a very long time. Heather Browning, a philosopher at the London School of Economics, told the New York Times. Church previously told Newsweek that Colossal was working with conservation groups that have experience with working with orphaned elephants so as to give them the best quality of life. Elephant orphans are an unfortunate consequence of poaching and natural death. There's a great deal of knowledge about how to make artificial milk and how to nurture them with minimal herd involvement. There we go. There are also those who are concerned about the fact that mammoth elephant hybrids would be the result of genetic engineering. Well, they are going to be the result of genetic engineering.
Yeah, you think?
Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
they're using that. What do they call that genetic clipper thing?
Splicing. Oh,
Yeah,
CRISPR?
CRISPR. That's
Yeah.
right. They're
Mm-hmm.
using CRISPR to create
Yep.
these things because these animals can be classed as genetically modified organisms. Every step of the process needs to be carefully considered with mechanisms in place to ensure that the animals do not disrupt the ecosystems into which they are placed. What are the chances, Sandy, that a big bunch of mammoths will not disrupt the ecosystem? All right.
I was watching videos and I'm telling you, I was saying, how the hell are they going to clump all over there? And there's all these other animals, and I'm watching as the permafrost is melting. Anyway, all right, where
I
are you?
mean,
Are you
yes,
finished?
exactly.
You're not
No,
finished.
no,
No.
no, we're just talking. It's a lot easier to roll back several thousand-pound animal versus a mosquito. We're not working on 50 animals. We're working on a handful, and they're all moderately decent size so that we can really monitor what those hopefully intended and potentially unintended consequences are so that we can
Unintended.
roll them back if we need to. This is so like Jurassic Park, right?
Wait till you watch my video.
Oh, okay. Pleistocene Park or
Just a little
something
bit.
like that,
Yes.
right?
Well, we actually, just to interrupt a little bit, we did a
Yeah, yeah.
show and we did have a video on Pleistocene Park, and
Yeah.
I just finished watching again an updated French video on the two scientists. But the problem is, we are not going to be able to work with these Russian scientists on any of this.
Oh, that's
We've
true.
lost that.
That's true.
I'm gonna research it to make sure, but all right.
Yeah. All right. The process, will these mammoth-like creatures be brought back to the Arctic? The process of rewilding any species needs to be thoughtfully and carefully handled. Our
Yeah.
long-term rewilding of the Arctic involves many parties around the table in full collaboration with local governments, private landowners, and local indigenous people groups. If these initial introductions are successful, the team hopes to scale up the project to create a mammoth-like population big enough to have a significant impact on Arctic restoration. Colossal's long-term
Okay.
goal is to have a herd large enough to aid in the rewilding of the Arctic tundra, but it will take some time. Realistically, we are a decade away from elephants being fully rewilded back into the Arctic.
I don't know. I heard it
Decade
was
away.
5. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Listen.
but I mean, regardless, I mean, really, is there going to be anything for those poor? I don't even know what to call those creatures, those hybrid mammoths to
Oh,
go
those
on. I
poor
mean, it's going to be a
babies.
big mush. It's
I
just going to be a big
know.
mush.
I
Oh my
know.
God. Oh my
I
God. Well, this is
know. I
interesting
know.
anyway.
Well,
However, we're not done yet. We're not down yet,
I know.
guys.
Am I terrible? I'm looking at 14 screens.
No, no, it's fine. I just hear me out because this is like really interesting. It's really
It
crazy.
is.
I want to know what you guys think of this. Oh my God, Sandy, you'll have to tell us some comments what people think about
Oh,
this
we are
project.
totally interactive tonight after
Oh, okay, cool.
after the intercept story. We are having a discussion.
Good,
Yup.
good. Okay.
Uh-huh.
However, there are now 3 labs and over 40 scientists working tirelessly to progress the project. Currently, the project is on track for our original goal timeline of 2027, including the 22 months of gestation for elephants. Oh my God. So
Lord.
they're going to be implanting these fetuses, these hybrid Frankensteins that they're making into elephants and having
Woo!
the elephants birth them.
Yeah,
Oh
Dale
my
had said
God.
this before. They'll get
Oh my
slaughtered
God.
by the fat ass Texan trophy hunters. that
Oh,
come
no
up there.
kidding.
Although
Yeah.
if
They'll charge
yeah,
like $100,000
Oh,
and you
jeez.
can go get your mammoth,
We can't even get through the first part of this show without giggling
Oh my
at
God.
all this.
Well, Sandy, where are we going next?
We're going
What's
to the
happening
movie.
now? Yeah.
Get your popcorn, guys. we got a movie. It's not that long tonight, but it's kind of going over what some of this said, but watch it. Enjoy, and let me fix myself because I know I've been moving around a lot. So here we go. Here we go.
This is a very special story, Carrie. So many questions. But first, how is Colossal, the company at the center of this, planning to bring back the woolly mammoth?
Well, look, it's tricky, and they may change gears a few times on this. But really what they're doing, Anne-Marie, is they're bringing back I'm not going to call it a hybrid, because biologically it wouldn't be, but they're taking the genome of the Asian elephant, and they've now mapped the full genome, by the way, of the woolly mammoth itself. There's multiple species, but they've got a map of that. And then they're going to splice in woolly mammoth, genetic material and codes along with the Asian elephant. So they're creating kind of a new genome. So most of the focus will be on trying to recreate the woolly mammoth features, those massive tusks, what we believe to be the colossal orange fur, the stature of them. Here's the thing that's really out there is they're now developing an artificial womb. What I mean by an artificial womb is literally an artificial uterus. It's been done in small animal studies, small meaning mice, right? But remember that the gestation period of an elephant is close to 2 years.
Yeah.
And this fetus will eventually reach 200 pounds before birth. So it's really an out there, kind of unbelievable, really science fiction-y kind of a story.
Thousands of years ago, and reintroducing it into a modern ecosystem raises a lot of ethical questions, also questions from anybody who has ever seen Jurassic Park. This does not end well. So what concerns do you have?
Well, and it may not end well. I've got a multitude of concerns. Look, I find it fascinating. I think most of us that have any appreciation of science find this, very, very fascinating. Anne-Marie, we are dealing with I've never met a woolly mammoth. None of us have. But looking at their behavior and their range and everything we know about them, we are dealing, because they're elephant-like, we can see that, intelligent, social, sentient creatures. So we're bringing them back. The preliminary ones, if they use the technique that I just described, they're going to have no mother. They're going to have no social group. I mean, there's an element of cruelty in that, in and of itself, as well as the ethics of creating this species that's not really a species, this resurrected species. But look, one of the greatest arguments here is environmental. They say that if we can get these large herds back into the Canadian North and the Siberian tundra, they'll reduce the amount of trees by breaking them down. Their massive feet will break into the soil, cold air rushing in. Because remember, the permafrost is rupturing with methane. It's really out there that would happen, and you'd need an awful lot of them.
Carrie Bowman, a fascinating topic and great idea for Ben's newest movie. So thanks so much for coming on to talk to us.
Reviving and restoring woolly mammoths and their climate-stabilizing mammoth steppe is the most spectacular wildlife project that Ryan Phelan and I have taken on for our California nonprofit called Revive and Restore. And thanks to George Church's marvelous team, it is the farthest along in terms of actually editing genes from an extinct species into the genome of a living relative. What they're doing is brilliant breakthrough science, and therefore exactly the kind of high-visibility, proof-of-concept example that will show conservation biologists and the general public what a potent new toolkit biotech is bringing to wildlife conservation. De-extinction is dramatic, but it represents only a small part of the benefits that genomic technology can bring to wildlife conservation. Many remnant populations of animals in the wild and in captive breeding programs are facing what is called an extinction vortex. Many wild populations of animals and plants are profoundly threatened by exotic diseases. In normal times, wild populations would evolve around such problems, but humans are introducing so many challenges so rapidly that evolution doesn't have time to generate the needed adaptations. Conservation biologists call what we are doing facilitated adaptation. It consists of careful genomic analysis, then minimal gene tweaking, followed by sustained monitoring at every level from ecosystem to individual gene. The goal is to restore ecological biodiversity via precisely enhanced genomic biodiversity. At Revive and Restore, we find that people come for the mammoths, but they stay for the ferrets and frogs and trees and birds that need help right now.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
All right, guys. So
Oh my
there you go. And you got some more information on it. You know, we kind of went over it. And I want you guys to really think about, I'm getting distracted by the chat. I can't let that happen. I have to think about, we have to think about this very, very hard about how we feel. And evidently, The Intercept may already. So let's check out The Intercept article. Okay. And maybe we could tag team this a little if
It's long and complicated.
my throat hurts a little.
Oh,
Let's just try.
I'll help you as much as possible. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'll start. It's a good one. These are good ones. And Intercept is decent. So while skeptics doubt the prospects for de-extinction, the CIA's venture capital firm deems powerful genetic manipulation tools worth the money. Worth the money, huh? All right. So as rapidly advancing climate emergency turns the planet ever hotter, the Dallas-based biotechnology company Colossal Biosciences has a vision to see the woolly mammoth thunder upon the tundra once again. And as we saw, founders George Church and Ben Lamm have already racked up an impressive list of high-profile funders and investors, including Peter Thiel, Tony Robbins, Paris Hilton, Winklevoss Capital, and according to the public portfolio, its venture capital arm released this month, the CIA. Colossal says it hopes to use advanced genetic sequencing to resurrect 2 extinct mammals. 2, okay. Not just the giant Ice Age mammoth, but also a mid-sized marsupial known as the thylacine, or the Tasmanian tiger, that died out less than a century ago. On its website, the company vows combining the science of genetics with the business of discovery. We endeavor to jumpstart nature's ancestral heartbeat. In QTEL, now, I'm sorry, Jennifer, QTEL, QAnon, Q shit. Yeah. The new investor is registered as a nonprofit venture capital firm funded by the CIA. On its surface, the group funds technology startups with the potential to safeguard national security. In addition to its long-standing pursuit of intelligence weapons technologies, the CIA outfit has lately displayed an increased interest in biotechnology, and particularly DNA sequencing. Why the interest in a company like Colossal, which was founded with a mission to de-extinct that woolly mammoth and other species, reads an InQTEL blog post. I know, InQTEL. Ooh. Published on September 22nd. Strategically, it's It's less about the mammoths and more about the capability. Biotechnology and the broader bioeconomy economy are critical for humanity to further develop. Oh my
Really?
God. It's
Okay.
important for all facets of our government to develop them and have an understanding of what is possible, Colossal co-founder Ben Lamm, wrote in an email to The Intercept. A spokesperson for Lamm stressed that while Teal, another insane one, provided church with $100,000 in funding to launch the woolly mammoth project that became Colossal, he is not a stakeholder like Robbins, Hilton, Winklevoss, and Capital and the In-Q-Tel. Colossus uses CRISPR gene editing. You can't make this up. You were right.
I mean,
about
look at
CRISPR.
the investors. Tony Robbins, which I don't have anything against Tony Robbins, but you know who he is, the self-help guru. Paris Hilton, which I'm really not sure what to say about Paris Hilton, but Paris Hilton is investing in woolly mammoths.
Her
Wrap your
investment
head
banker
around
is.
that.
Her investor
Oh my
is.
God.
She probably doesn't even know.
And Winklevoss, Capital? Are you teasing me? I'm sorry. Okay.
I know. It's very difficult when we know there's so many problems. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God. This is
All right,
like a
so
humor show.
they're using CRISPR gene editing, that method of
Right.
genetic engineering based on its sequences. Now, CRISPR sequences present on their own in some bacterial cells and act as immune defense system, allowing the cell to detect and act as an immune defense system, allowing the cell to detect and excise viral material that tries to invade. And I've learned about CRISPR this year when I took the virology
Crazy.
course, last winter.
Really?
The eponymous gene editing technique was developed to function the same way, allowing users to snip unwanted genes and program a more ideal version of the genetic code. I mean, it really is fascinating work. I just wish they could use it for something else. Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. We have to wait till all you weigh in. All of you guys.
It's a good idea. We should proceed with the woolly mammoth propagation. Okay. Yeah.
CRISPR is the use of genetic scissors. Robert Klitzman, a bioethicist. Bioethicist in this.
People's names
Ethics.
are driving me crazy.
At Columbia University, and a prominent voice of caution. Yay. Okay, let's make sure that there's some caution. Yeah. On that genetic engineering. He told The Intercept, you're going into DNA, which is a 3 billion molecule long chain, and clipping some of it out and replacing it. You could clip out bad mutations and put in good genes, but these editing scissors can also take out too much.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the soulless Frankensteins that are going to appear? I mean, it's not going to be like they think. It might be bad.
I don't know. You know, we'll
have to wait and see. It's fascinating. I mean, it's never been done. Has this ever been done before?
No,
First
not
time, right?
like this. No.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying. It's for years. Scientists have been working on this, and you know, I don't begrudge the scientists who think they're doing everything great for humanity. It's just a hard one for us. Maybe it's because we're older. Maybe who knows? But it's just anyway. The embrace of this technology, according to In-Q-Tel's blog post, will help the U.S. government agencies to read, write, and edit genetic material, and importantly, to steer global biological phenomena that impact nation-to-nation competition while enabling the United States to help set the ethical as well as the technological standards for its use. In-Q-Tel did not respond to The Intercept's request for comment. Of course they didn't. In recent years, the venture firm's portfolio has expanded to include Ginkgo Bioworks, not Ginkgo biloba, Ginkgo Bioworks, a bioengineering startup focused on manufacturing bacteria for biofuel and other industrial uses. Claremont Biosolutions, a firm that produces DNA sequencing hardware, Biomatrica, and T2 Biosystems, two manufacturers for DNA testing components, and Biota, an infectious disease mapping and risk analysis database. I've heard of that one. Pretty
Have you?
powerful. Yeah. They powered by artificial intelligence. Yeah. As The Intercept reported in 2016, In-Q-Tel also invested in Clarista, a skincare brand that removes a thin outer epidermal layer to reveal a fresher face beneath it. Oh, really? Oh, Clarista, huh? I'm excited. I want some.
I'm mystified.
I want a clearer face underneath. I want to use Clarista.
Yeah.
Oh my God. President.
Look at the last part of that sentence,
Yeah.
and allow DNA
Yeah.
collection from the
Yeah.
skin cells scraped off. So you put this crap on your
Uh-huh.
face.
Yep.
You scrape it off.
Yep. And you're going to
And
see yourself
stick it
on the
in a-
street.
Stick it in some little, I don't know, thing, right? With like, who knows what, like a tongue suppressor or something like that, and stick it in this thing and then mail it back. And I mean, is that what it is?
I mean, look, we do
am I
DNA
imagining
tests. Millions of people do DNA tests.
True.
But those
true.
companies are supposed to be ethical. They're supposed to be. But you want to take it over?
Sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
President
Joe Biden's administration signaled its prioritization of related advances earlier this month when Biden signed an executive order on biotechnology and biomanufacturing. The order includes directives to spur public-private collaboration, bolster biological risk management, expand bioenergy-based products, and engage the international community to enhance biotechnology R&D cooperation in a way that is consistent with the United States principles and values.
Oh, boy.
All right, good. The government's penchant for controversial biotechnology long predates the Biden administration.
That's true.
In 2001, a New York Times investigation found that American defense agencies under President George W. Bush and Bill Clinton had continued to experiment with biological weapons despite a 1972 international treaty prohibiting them. In 2011, The Guardian revealed that the CIA under President Barack Obama organized a fake hepatitis B vaccine driven drive in Pakistan that sought to locate family members of Osama bin Laden through non-consensual DNA collection, leading the agency to eventually promise a cessation of false immunization campaigns. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but
I don't remember it, and I'm pissed all over again.
Well, yeah, no, I'm pissed too.
Jesus
I'm totally
Christ.
pissed. Let's
Wow.
get mad. All right. CIA Labs, a 2020 initiative listen to this, guys, overseen by Donald Trump's CIA director, Gina Haspel, infamous for running a torture laboratory in Thailand. Was that true? Did she run a torture?
Yes.
Oh my God, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Follows a model. This whole thing is like so mind blowing. Follows a model similar to In-Q-Tel's. The program created a research network to incubate top talent and technology for use across U.S. defense agencies while simultaneously allowing participating CIA officers to personally profit off their research and patents. Oh my God. In-Q-Tel board members are allowed to sit on the boards of companies in which the firm invests, raising ethics concerns over how the nonprofit selects companies to back with government dollars. A 2016 Wall Street Journal investigation found that almost half of In-Q-Tel board members were connected to the companies where it had invested. The size of In-Q-Tel's stake in Colossal won't be known until the nonprofit releases its financial statements next year.
We'll see those.
Yeah, but the investment may provide a boon on reputation alone. In-Q-Tel has claimed that every dollar it invests in business attracts 15 more from other investors. Well, that's a pretty
Damn.
good return, I guess. Boy,
Damn.
this whole article is kind of freaking mind-blowing.
It is.
I mean, when you consider that we're like in the midst of abrupt climate change, this is what people are doing. Colossal's co-founders, Lamm and Church, represent the venture's business and science minds respectively. Lamm, self-proclaimed serial technology entrepreneur, and that's not like Kellogg's cornflakes, it's cereal like 1, 2, 3. With an S.
I'm sorry,
Founded
guys.
its first company. Well, it could be Kellogg's.
Well, we're
cornflakes.
having entirely too much fun. I'm sorry.
It could be Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean, Cuckoo for
feel like we
Cocoa
are.
Puff, serial technology entrepreneur, founded his first company as a senior in college, then pivoted to mobile apps and artificial intelligence before helping to start Colossal. How interesting.
Yeah,
There's also I got onto I was researching this Colossal, and prior to doing this woolly mammoth thing, they were actually doing something about tracking down space aliens by putting up satellites. Did you see those? Did you dig into any of that? It was so interesting.
Not yet. No.
Oh,
I
it's
did
kind
not.
of fascinating.
Oh my
I went into
God.
their little Wikipedia. So
Oh, boy.
Church, a Harvard geneticist, genome-based dating app visionary. Oh my God, he's a
Wait, what?
genome. Now you got to get your head around this. It's like in just a few words, it'll blow your mind. A Harvard geneticist who is a genome-based dating app visionary. Got it? And former Jeffrey Epstein funding recipient. Oh my God. Oh my God. Has proposed the revival of extinct species before.
Like Jeffrey.
Like Jeffrey Epstein. He is a species of his own.
And he's
oh my God,
extinct.
he's extinct. Oh my God, this whole thing is just like so freaking mind-blowing. I don't even know what I'm reading. It's freaking me out. Speaking to Der Spiegel in 2013, Church suggested the resurrection of the Neanderthal, an idea met with controversy because it would require technology capable of human cloning. Oh my God. Oh my God. We could clone all kinds of mammals. So it's very likely we could clone a human.
Yeah, half human, half mammoth.
They're going for it. They're going for the Neanderthal. You know, why clone a human when you can, like, you know, do something like a Neanderthal? And they actually
Cheap
have
labor.
reverse engineered the entire Neanderthal genome. So they have the code for making a Neanderthal. Maybe they put it in their little CRISPR blender.
Well, there you
see
go,
what
Jen.
comes out. That little Frankenstein creature.
We have
Oh my God, these
cheap
people are
labor and
freaking
robots. So
insane.
between robots
They're
and clones,
insane.
capitalism will never go away until the apocalypse is completely here.
These people are insane.
Yeah, they are.
When the interviewer reminded him of a ban on human cloning, Church said, and laws can change, by the way. So he's going for it.
He's nuts.
He's totally going for it. He probably has already been creating a Neanderthal
God.
Frankennoid in his laboratory. You know, they're probably doing it.
They're scary.
They have the code. Oh my God. Even when the methods used for de-extinction are legal, many scientists are skeptical of its promise. In 2017 paper for Yes, Sandy. Nature, Ecology, and Evolution, a group of biologists from Canada, Australia, and New Zealand found that
They're all in on it.
spending limited resources on de-extinction could lead to net biodiversity loss. De-extinction is a fairy tale science. Yeah, think. Jerry Austin, University of Adelaide professor and director of the Australian Centre for Ancient DNA, told Sydney Morning Herald over the summer when Colossal pledged to sink $10 million into the University of Melbourne for its Tasmanian Tiger project. So they've gotten the University of Melbourne all up into this too. It's pretty clear to people like me that the thylacine or mammoth de-extinction is more about media attention for scientists and less about doing serious science.
Yeah,
Critics
serious science.
Critics who say de-extinction of genes to create proxy species is impossible are critics who simply are not fully informed and do not know the science. We have been clear from day one that the path to de-extinction, we will be developing technologies which we hope will be beneficial to both human healthcare as well as conservation, Lamm wrote to The Intercept. We will continue to share these technologies as we develop with the world. So it's all good. It's a good thing. It's all good. It's going to save the tundra. It's going to save us. Good thing, right? It remains to be seen if Colossal, with In-Q-Tel's backing, can make good on its promises, and it's unclear what exactly the intelligence world might gain from use of CRISPR. But perhaps the CIA shares the company's altruistic, if vague, motives to advance the economies of biology and healing through genetics to make humanity more human and to reawaken the lost wilds of Earth so we and our planet can breathe easier.
Wow.
I am just like
Yeah,
baffled.
I know.
I'm baffled.
It's
I
because
don't even know what to think.
we've known it's happening, but it is now like just, here's the company.
Okay. So, Sandy, if I could just take, because I've been watching the chat a couple of times and two different people brought up this quote. So I looked it up online and I'm going to read it to you all because it is sort of along the line of what we're talking a lot about.
Wonderful.
Take a look at one of the most iconic lines in sci-fi cinematic history. At the end of Blade Runner, Ridley Scott's adaptation of Philip K. Dick,
your neighbor,
Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, Rutger Hauer's replicant Roy Batty delivers one of the most famous lines in sci-fi noir and movie history.
Very good.
No, I haven't read it yet.
That's the lead-in. That's not even it.
Andy, I haven't said it yet. That was just to give you an orientation, okay? So, quote, remember, everybody here has seen Blade Runner, the original, right? And this is when the blonde replicant Rutger Hauer plays Roy Batty is dying. And they only live like 6 years or something. And he says, as he's dying, bleeding on the top of the building, I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've watched sea beams glitter in the dark near Tanajan Gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Time to die.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So that's it.
I watched it recently. So
did you?
Yeah, because we were talking about it. We were going to have our Philip K. Dick show, which maybe we will. Still, we really should, because it's kind of now would be a natural. Even though this is our last show for 2022, by the way, guys. Yeah, I can't believe how many years we've been doing this now. So did you want to look at this before we get to questions and stuff? Look at the different websites we have for them. And you guys, too, could go in and check them all out. We're not going to read them, but it's the woolly mammoth is a vital defender of the earth. I mean, okay. It's just, I was looking at videos today and seeing the permafrost, and it's so melted and so slushy in so many places. I don't know. I don't want to be like those people that, when the automobile was being developed and all the people with horses didn't want automobiles and they hated them and all. I don't want to be the total poo-poo person. Oh, look at this. Epimuse says, Philip K. Dick is one of the greatest sci-fi novelists in my mind. Jennifer, you want to give your little secret away? Go ahead.
Yeah, we have
Give your secret away.
We have to. Because it's in the consciousness and it's coming up. So Philip K. Dick was intimately involved with my own family when I was growing up. I was his direct next door neighbor as a child, and my mother was partners with his wife at the time. So his third wife was Ann Dick, and that was in Point Reyes Station, California. So this was between the years of like 1958 to 1964, 65. He left Point Reyes in 65. And there was something going on. My mother was only 24 or 25 at the time because it was early on. I was already born. And I don't know exactly what was going on, but I was so curious to find out. Sandy and I were talking about this when I visited her in New York, and we were like going into all these, old family histories. And my mother got summarily ejected from the jewelry business that she had with Ann Dick, and she wasn't allowed to go over there anymore. And then I read Ann Dick's biography on Philip K. Dick. It's called The Search for Philip K. Dick by Ann Dick. And he was going around the house proclaiming how much it was so weird to read this and see my mother in full print in Ann Dick's book 4 or 5 times.
Cool,
I'm like,
Jennifer.
really? Are you kidding? And Phil Dick was going around the house proclaiming how much he loved Lorraine Hines and how beautiful she was and how smart she was and how he wanted to be with her. And he was just going on and on about Lorraine Hines. And then they got a divorce.
The swinging 60s.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The
So
swinging 60s.
Swinging 60s. Oh, and then my dad told me this wild story. They were all over at Philip K. Dick's little cottage in Inverness, and there was people were smoking pot, and there were all these stories going along, and it was went on to 3 a.m, and they're playing the 60s jazz, and it was very free-flowing 60s moment. So we were very involved. He used to come over to our house all the time to try and, quote, reconcile the two women, but it never happened. So whatever happened between those two women, it was like fire and gasoline.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a story. A good story. And then we had talked, we were planning to do a show on the sci-fi of Philip Dick. And we might, we really need to work on that one together for time. That'll take time. We have ideas for all these amazing shows. So yeah. So we've just got these websites, and thank you, Jennifer, for sharing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's an amazing story. Yeah. So this one, we have this website, and then we have the Woolly Mammoth Revival. So we've got the two. So here's if you guys want to go into this, this one, I think that's the company, the Colossus, Woolly Mammoth Revive and Restore. And then here we go. IQ In-Q-Tel. They are visionary, forward-leaning, curious, mission-focused. So they are mission-focused, and they were founded in 1999.
Really? They've been around for a bit then.
Yeah, and in the internet, they have all these different applications. The CIA and government agencies, once innovation leaders, recognized they were missing out on the cutting-edge, innovative, and impactful technologies coming out of Silicon Valley and beyond. So combining the security savvy of government with the can-do curiosity of Silicon Valley, In-Q-Tel was born. So, if you guys, we can a little bit go over it. They have labs. They have a bunch of different things. I think you guys should go through this yourselves, because I would really like to have a little bit of a conversation with the chat and tonight, because my video did say, what do you think? Right? So we've been giggling and laughing about this whole thing all night. So
yes, we have.
Yeah. Let's go. I know it's very hard. Let's go chat. Let's go chat. Let's pull up some things. Ask is profit a worthy mission? Singing Way asks, is profit a worthy mission? I don't know. Is it profit? And Scott says savvy. Wait, savvy and government are two words that don't go together.
Hmm.
All right. So I don't see questions though. Um, OG Skywatch brings woolly mammoths back. Alien probe destroys Earth because it can't find a whale. Oh my God. We've got
Oh,
funny
that's
people
right.
here.
That's it. That was one of the Star Trek movies where they had to find a humpback whale to answer this song of Voyager or something. Maybe I've screwed it up, but
Sam
it
wants to
was
know if
one
you
of
got
those.
it. Sam said, "Did you get a DNA test?"
I actually
Are you
did.
his kid?
No, but I
He
was
was already
best
born.
friends. I was best friends with his child, his first child, Laura
Mhm.
Dick. Laura Dick and I were like this, and I was always over at their house. So when I say our family was intimately involved, I mean that was like my primary memories were basically of Ann Dick's house, Laura, and all the things that
Wow.
we did. But it was way out in the
Cool.
country. It was in Point Reyes Station in the early 60s. Quite
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful
we
time.
were looking at pictures and it
Yeah.
was just it was really cool and I was
Mhm.
as Jennifer was talking, I was feeling like I was watching a movie. I told her that. I said, and not only did,
Oh
we
my
were
god.
smoking a little weed, but it felt like I was watching a movie. It was great. We had a great time this summer.
Yes,
So
we did.
I just don't see anybody that has questions. So I'll put up some comments. And
Comments, yeah.
Jimmy says, I have sisters in the Gulf and it's frequently, oh, they're talking about the weather, how it changed, how it went from -5 at my house to 60. It was 60 degrees, over 60 today.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there's that, there's that's been going on, which is weather whiplash. And I'm going to tell you, Jennifer, quite frankly,
What?
this weather change, it's given me a pit in my stomach.
Oh, it's astronomical. I mean, we had an 80-degree weather delta within like 24 hours here. It was upper mid 50s one day, then the freaking cold front came, the wind like was tearing everything up.
Oh
It was
my God.
such a strong wind. Then the temperature just sunk and it went down to -17. I mean, it's crazy, right? And that was just like as the jet stream kind of and then moved over us, and we got into the cold and then it went up and then we got just another 10 inches of snow the night before
Wow.
last. So
I
yeah.
got nothing. It's all melted here. And it was like, I went out in a hoodie today and that was even hot. Holy crap. So there's, here we are with all this craziness going on. And how long? I mean, they're going to do this whole thing with these woolly mammoths in hopes that it's going to change climate, to change the
Like,
Alaska. I mean, when? When? Okay.
well, hope springs eternal. Good. I wish them the best.
Hopium.
I really wish them the best.
Scott. Oh, the weather schmether. Yeah, right.
Jet stream, what jet
Look at
stream?
this. We're actually going to do a show on time, an hour.
Oh,
We're
that's good.
we're really
Good for
happy
us.
because yeah, I'm tired, but I've enjoyed the show even though it's scary to think about these things. I don't want to be that, oh, I'm not a believer in science or a naysayer. And I'm also going to go in there and slap Sam for all his comments. He's saying everybody, there's chocolate. There's not a fucking piece of chocolate in this house. Sorry. I ate it all at Christmas. It was so cold here. I laid in the living room for 3 days. Really, literally, right by the wood stove. Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. Yep. So, Jen,
Yeah.
where are we at?
Well, I guess we're cooking up some mammoths in a blender and gonna pour them all into little cupcake pans and change the
Oh,
Arctic and save the world and benefit humanity all at the same time.
wouldn't that be something? Mammoths are food for the
Could be good.
They're food for the survivors. So when the survivors come out of their bunkers, there'll be mammoths for them to hunt. So when they go in their bunkers, they're going to have to make sure that they have spears. Oh, wait. These guys will come out of their bunkers with what? ARs? And lots of ammo and all that. Yeah, tons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they'll have all that. So, all right. Well, anyway, thank you guys. Don't forget, you could do a little buy me a coffee, and I can say thank you to you guys for doing that at the end of the year. It has been great. Jennifer, I love you. And would you like to give the closing arguments?
I'm speechless.
Okay.
I don't know what to say, but I'm super happy that the mammoths are going to save the earth. You know, I thought the earth was dimmed. Now I find out that they're making mammoths to save it. So,
yeah.
you know,
There's
all
no,
good.
so we're not doomers. We're woollyers or mammothers. It's a mammoth earth. It's a sure it's a mammoth earth. All right, guys. We are going to see you in 2023. And tomorrow night, I am doing a New Year's Eve show with Sam from Collapse Chronicles. We
Wonderful.
are going to try to, we're going to do this. And we're going to be 11 o'clock Eastern. And we are going to try to multi-stream it onto his channel, Collapse Chronicles, and my channel. We are going out first to a party at a friend's here locally and then to dinner. So when we come back, hopefully this will all be set up. It should be pretty silly and fun to ring in the new year with us if nobody's doing anything in life. And there you go. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for showing up, and we will see you next time.
Oh.